Well, good evening, y'all. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to make something that you could actually use for your meat at your meal or appetizers at a gathering that you have. I'm going to be making buffalo chicken meatballs, and they taste kind of like wings because they're made out of the chicken meat, ground chicken. Now, the recipe has a lot of ingredients in it, so I went ahead and gathered ingredients. I went ahead and made the buffalo sauce ahead of time. I'm going to tell you what I put in it. Then I'll give you the recipe at some point. I've got a couple of tablespoons of celery diced very fine and some onion diced very fine, a couple of tablespoons. And I'm just sauteing it in a couple of tablespoons of butter until it gets soft. And then it'll go into the meat mixture. But I'm not going to take y'all over to the stove to show you how to do that. Into my chicken, and it calls for 1 pound of ground chicken, so I'm actually doubling it because my package had 2 pounds in it, but I'm going to give y'all the 1 pound amount. You're going to put 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, a tablespoon of Frank's Red Hot original hot sauce. If you can't get Frank's hot sauce, use whatever you want, but most of your buffalo wings and all calls for Frank's. A half teaspoon of salt or seasoning salt, a tablespoon of parsley. You're going to have 1/4 of a teaspoon each of cayenne pepper, garlic powder, half teaspoon of paprika, and 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of toasted breadcrumbs and your pound of chicken. So I've got my chicken here and I'm fixing to add to it all of my ingredients. So let me get a spatula and we'll get busy. Okay, I'm going to add in my mayonnaise. And all of this is just going to have to be mixed really well. My Frank's Red Hot sauce. I've got 2 eggs. Well, I've got 2. You're going to use 1. And I'm going to kind of break this chicken up a little bit. I should have brought y'all over here just a minute, and I'll bring the camera where you can see what I'm doing at this point. Okay, I've got some of my stuff already in my bowl. I have my chicken, my egg, my mayonnaise, and my Frank's Red Hot sauce. I have my onion and celery sauteed and cooling. So while this is cooling, let me tell y'all about the sauce that you're going to roll your meatballs in. It's a 1/2 cup of Frank's Red Hot sauce, a tablespoon of melted butter, a 1/2 teaspoon of parsley, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground granulated garlic powder, a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now, you can adjust that to your taste. If it's a little extra spicy, you might want to add a little bit of extra butter to it. I dipped a cracker in it, and it's pretty well spot on as far as I'm concerned. You're going to cook your meatballs at 400 for 10 to 12 minutes. And then you're going to toss them in the sauce until they're coated really well. Keep the rest of your sauce, put them back on the lined cookie sheet and broil for 1 to 2 minutes. And then you're going to toss them in the sauce again. So, first of all, we have to get them made, and then we'll go through the directions for the process again. So I'll set my sauce aside because we won't need it yet. But we are going to need to get all of this mixed. The chicken with the mayonnaise and all the flavors. I'm going to get it broke up a little bit, and then I'm going to add all of my dry flavorings, my parsley and garlic and cayenne and paprika. Okay, I'm going to add all of my seasonings, and I told y'all what all I was putting in there, but you'll get a recipe to write down so you can make it. I'm going to go ahead and add in my garlic and onion. And you want that diced really fine because you just want a hint of the flavor throughout your meatballs. The breadcrumbs, and I'm just using garlic, roasted garlic breadcrumbs that I bought at Kroger. You can make your own if you want to. It's up to you. Now I'm going to need to chill these. The recipe says for an hour. I'll see how long it takes for it to be workable because it's a little bit gooey. And then I'll bring y'all back and we'll make our little meatballs and put them on the pan and okay, y'all, I went ahead and got started on it, and I'm just using a cookie scoop. And I know it's raw chicken. I know how to clean my hands. I'd rather do this without gloves on. Y'all can wear gloves if you're not comfortable handling raw chicken. I have 2 trays of them to cook. I cooked a little bit in the skillet just to make sure that the flavors were right. Oh my goodness, I'm going to go ahead and get these set aside, and I'm going to get the other pan done, and then I'll bake both of them, and then we'll sauce them, put them back under the broiler, and then they'll be ready to eat. Got the first pan in the oven, and they'll be brown in a minute. We'll be saucing them up. Okay, I got my meatballs out. I put them in, and I used my instant read thermometer. Put it right in the center. This one's at 166. The rest of them have, this one's a little bit bigger. And they've cooled a little bit since they've been out. And y'all, I buy a little quart size of Clorox or Purex, whichever. And I keep it under my sink. And when I do something with raw chicken, I bleach everything. So I got everything washed up in bleach water, in case some of y'all are wondering about it. I don't take any chances. These are so, that piece that I cooked was delicious. I can't wait to, and I went back, and some of those that were so big, I went ahead and pinched them in half and made smaller ones. I'm going to finish putting sauce on these, and then the others will be coming out. I'll kick it up to broil, and we'll get that done, and I'll bring you back when I'm at the next phase of cooking them. Okay, they're done. I've had them under the broiler, and they're ready for me to roll them again. Make them real good and messy, and we'll enjoy eating some after a while. So I'm just going to go through here and roll each one of them again in the sauce, and I'll bring y'all back when they're plated up and you can see what they look like. Okay, here's my meatballs. They are so yummy. Put a toothpick in them and you've got a party favor, or put them on the table. Make you some potatoes and stuff to go with them, and that can be your meat. But they're very, very good. That one's a blue ribbon keeper. Another great recipe to add to your file. They're so good. They're very spicy. So if you don't like it really spicy, you might want to cut back on the cayenne pepper a little bit. But these are wonderful. Very, very spicy, flavorful, easy to fix. Just remember to take your ingredient list to the grocery store with you. I hope y'all will try it. Hope you'll let me know that you liked it or you didn't like it, or what you would do different. If you have a recipe similar, or for a food for a gathering that you would like to share, please email it to me. My email is down below, and I'll give you credit for the recipe. I like to share some of y'all's recipes too, because it makes you feel good when I'm on here cooking and telling them who I got it from. I hope y'all have a good day. The rest of the day is going to be good for me. My daughter is going to come up to the house for supper tonight, and I'm making a pot of chicken and dumplings for them, and they're going to have some of these meatballs also. Potato salad, roasted asparagus, I don't know what else. But anyhow, I'm going to fix a good meal because she felt like getting out and coming up here, so that's going to be fun. She's doing better. The chemo makes her very nauseous, but this is her week off, so she's got a few days that she feels a little better. Thank y'all for your prayers. Keep praying. I'll be glad when we get through this bad dream and we're on to some good days. The good Lord bless y'all. Come back in a day or two and we'll have something new.